In the quiet town of Willow Creek, where the sun always seemed to set with a golden hue, lived David, his wife, Sarah, and their son, Jake. Their life was a tapestry of joy, their days filled with laughter, shared meals, and the comforting routine of a family deeply in love. Their home, a charming cottage on Maple Street, was enclosed by a vibrant yellow fence, a symbol of their bright life. One evening, after a day that felt as perfect as any before, David returned home. The sun was setting, casting long shadows across the yard, and as he turned into his driveway, he noticed something jarringly out of place. The fence, which had always been yellow, was now an unsettling shade of blue. Confusion knitted his brow, and a sudden, sharp pain erupted in his head. Before he could call out to Sarah, his vision blurred, his legs gave way, and he collapsed on the lawn. When David awoke, the warmth of his home was replaced by the sterile chill of a white-walled room. He was not in his bed, but on a narrow cot, restrained. A doctor in a white coat stood over him, clipboard in hand, his expression grave. "David, you're awake. Do you remember where you are?" the doctor asked. David's voice was weak. "Where's Sarah?" "Jake?" The doctor sighed. "You've been in a coma, David." 10 years? You're in a facility for the criminally insane. You were involved in a bank robbery, shot by police during the standoff." David's heart raced, his mind reeled. The life he remembered couldn't be a lie. "No, that's not true. My family, my life." "It was all a dream, a coma dream," the doctor explained. "You've been scheduled for execution, the trial, your sentencing. It all happened while you were unconscious." The world spun for David. The yellow fence, the laughter, the love. It was all fabricated by his brain to escape the reality of his crimes and the impending doom of his sentence. Days turned into a blur of therapy sessions where he was told how his mind had created this perfect life to cope with guilt and the fear of death. But as David dug deeper, searching for the truth, inconsistencies began to emerge. Nurses whispered about his case. Some believed he wasn't the criminal he was made out to be. There were rumors of a cover-up, of evidence that didn't add up. David started to piece together fragments from his coma-induced life, realizing that perhaps his mind wasn't just escaping, but also trying to tell him something. One day, while in the common room, he overheard a conversation about a similar case from years ago, a man wrongfully accused, whose life story eerily paralleled his own. The more David explored, the less certain he became about his guilt. Was his dream life a clue to his innocence, or was it just the mind's final desperate escape? In a session with a new therapist, an old newspaper clipping was accidentally left behind. It detailed a bank robbery, but the names didn't match, and the faces in the old photographs were not his. David's execution date loomed closer, each day a step nearer to the end. Yet with every passing moment he questioned more. Could the dream be a message from his subconscious, a plea for justice? Or was it merely the final act of a mind facing death, crafting a beautiful lie?